Hi, Sandra. How are you?
Hi, Shaun. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm extremely well.
Nice to have coffee with you again today.
Absolutely. It's a shame it's not a gin and tonic.
No. See, well, brown coffee in there. Let me tell you.
It has to be 5 o'clock somewhere, I
It
suppose.
does. It does.
Anyway, this is the third episode, would you believe?
Yay. Yep.
So we've done the difference between monomeric and polymeric.
Yes, we have.
Talked briefly about adhesives. We touched on that subject, which I hope was useful. And now this week, it's release liners.
Yep.
So everything self-adhesive, as you know, has to have a release liner. Obviously, to stop it when you send it anywhere, stick into stuff before you want it to stick.
Exactly.
So although it's one of the most important parts of a product, it's also obviously treated as the biggest part of waste whenever you manufacture everything. So it's really an understood part of the process. So I think we have a little bit of a dive in for a few minutes, explain to everybody what the differences are, why, and how it really is there to sort of kind of help you, and the amazing difference in the kind of release liners in the market right now.
Yeah, it's definitely the I think the least understood component of that three-part sandwich. Definitely.
Absolutely, and having the right release liner on it is the key to whether you can get the material off really easy, or it's a little bit tougher, or actually if it moves around on the surface while you're printing. So it really is a key part of any product. So you've got a few examples that I do.
I think we'll start off with the most popular one, which is basically a paper-based release liner. I've cheated a bit here in that I've pulled the back off, because otherwise, I kind of make faces when I'm trying to look at it close up and peel it off.
That's compulsory though.
It is, absolutely. Yeah. So as an example, the piece that I'm holding here, this is a piece of Polar Premium. So this is just a standard pressure sensitive material. And you'll notice that this is kind of makes a snappy sort of paper sound. So this is actually a paper release liner. And when I separate the two, they come apart really easy. And then my material is ready to go. Now this one is not an air release liner. This is just a solid adhesive, as you can sort of see in the picture. But what's great with that is that this paper-based release liner gives a lot of stability when you're handling the material. Also, when you're cutting things out, it's a really good weight in terms of making sure that the material goes through the printer and then also handles well afterwards.
I think it's key to point out that those papers are actually coated. They're coated with
Let's see
polyethylene either side.
See how that's the coated side, shiny. Yeah. And there's the back side. See if that's completely different finish?
Yeah. So you get two-side coated liner and you get one-side coated liner. Again, both of those have a difference in the way it prints. So generally, if you've got like a HP latex machine that uses heat to dry the inks, that keeps that material nice and flat.
It would, yes. Yeah.
So we obviously, on this little cameras that we have, we can't show the air release, but it looks very similar to what you've had there.
Exactly. Yeah, except for there's going to be little channels in it. And when you zoom in super close, you can see the channels in the release liner.
So hopefully somewhere around us is going to be a little image of some air release.
Yes, there will be.
Oh, the magic of TV.
We have people for that make magic happen. Yes,
they make us look good. So those little air channels are actually embossed into the paper, and then when they're transferred over to the adhesive, the embossed liner then leaves that impression of those little air channels in the glue. Yes, so when you go over with your squeegee,
and you can also feel them when you run your fingernail over them. You can actually feel the release channels that are there.
So what kind of products generally do you think has air release?
Usually that's going to be our vehicle wrap segment. But however, now when it comes to larger graphic installations, air release is also very popular in terms of doing window graphics.
It makes, as I say, it's the terminology used bubble free, and my God, it does make stuff to be applied without any bubbles.
Yes, exactly.
So we briefly touched on those two very simple ones, but then you've got other ones that aren't paper.
I do. Yes, and I've got two separate examples of what this can look like. So this is a printed sample that we have done on Polar Chrome. Ooh, and so what's really interesting is you can see that the face of the material is this beautiful satin finish, prints beautifully, specifically with latex and things like that. But this actually has a polyester release liner. And you'll notice that when I'm peeling this off, that it's completely smooth, and also the adhesive is then released very, very clear. So this fancy polyester liner is going to give you a very smooth surface on your adhesive. And it's also going to help that adhesive look more optically clear, specifically if you're dealing with clear-based materials.
Yeah, generally clear-based materials. If you have like a paper versus a polyester, you get like tiny orange peels on the film and it stops the clarity. Yeah. Whereas polyester, when you take that off and then it doesn't affect the adhesive on the surface, so you could that optically clear adhesive, then you can kind of see through those windows and all kinds of.
It just makes it look a whole lot better. Yeah. So it doesn't necessarily need to be on films like that. This is the VisiPrint material. This is actually a white material that also the same kind of thing. As I separate it, it separates very, very smooth. And when I go to apply that now onto the glass, that material is going to apply very smoothly and it's going to look really good when the install is done. Absolutely.
Again, these release liners all add to the way that the product performs and the way that the actual product adheres. So it's really, really quite important, especially for something that most people consider as waste.
Yes. That's true. The hardest part of all release liners usually is just getting the corner started.
But that's when you need those funny faces and a few nails and stuff like that.
But there's a trick.
Oh, is that stick your tongue out? I've seen that before.
Well, there's that one. But basically the simple trick is to take a piece of tape, stick it on one side, take a piece of tape, offset it, stick it on the other side. And when you go to peel those two pieces of tape apart, voila.
That's for those people that do bite their nails, I suppose.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Well, as always, Sandra, I think everybody's find that throwaway piece that actually has quite a lot of technology involved.
Absolutely.
And it makes our products not only print well, but makes them far easier to apply. So choosing not only the right face film, but the right face film with the correct release liner for your printer and for your application can save you not only crashing your print heads, but also save you time and installation.
100%.
Well, it's been lovely talking to you again.
Very nice to see you again.
Enjoy your coffee.
Thank you. Will so.
And until next time, Sandra, I'll see you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.